Hi guys, I think we're gonna talk about friendship today, and I'm eating a plate full of veg, so let's get talking. So I'm starting this new series. This is not gonna stay up. I'm starting this new series and it's called Girl Chats, where essentially I feel like I've gone through every situation apart from breakups on the sun, I don't know, on the planet. And I just wanted to do like a little chat through it all, because sometimes like you just need like a voice of reasoning and like guidance to talk you through it, and that's what I'm planning on doing. Okay, I'm also trying this. This is strawberry watermelon prime. Very sweet, not horrible, but tastes like sweets. Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna talk you guys through. So I am 20, I'm nearly 21, and I feel like I've gone through more friendship breakups than I can count on one hand. Maybe it says a little bit weird, but no. Okay. So I think sometimes people really underestimate how heartbreaking friendship breakups can actually be, and they really make it seem like it's no big deal, and it is a big deal. Like, you are losing like the person that you are closest to in the whole wide world, and you don't really know what to do with yourself. And I went through one a year and a half ago, so long ago, and this girl I've been friends with since we were 11 years old, and I think we went out clubbing and it became very apparent we were two very different people. She was in a relationship at the time, I am chronically single, and just wasn't gonna work. And that's not me saying that you can't be friends with people who are in relationships or vice versa. It's just that we became different people at this stage of our lives, and as hard as that is to kind of wrap your mind around, you sometimes just need to have that kind of brutal, honest acceptance. We didn't do that. We kind of played about for, I would like to say, maybe like 6, maybe 7 months. We had our first big falling out in March 2022. No. Yeah, March 2022, March last year. And we had a final falling out August 2022. So between this was horribleness and honestly not very good memories. We were part of the same friendship group in high school. We became really, really close. Our energies just clicked, and her boyfriend didn't really like me. I don't know how much of a factor that really played, but he did not like me at all. That was fun. And sometimes I think like she was influenced by that. I don't know, I can't speak for that. Obviously we've both done things that were wrong to each other. I feel like she spoke at me a lot behind my back, because my other friend was like telling me, and then I would be like, what the fuck, and it just become this like spiral kind of situation. So my first point of advice is, don't do that. That was so silly, and it dragged it out. And I honestly do believe like if this hadn't become so messy, we would still be friends this day. It became so messy. We were like just, and I think for me, like, see, if I know I'm being spoken about behind my back, I can't act neutral with you. Like, I am pissed, and it will be blatantly obvious that I am pissed off, and that is one of the hardest things for me to kind of like get over. Like, I am just like, no, I don't like you now because you have said this to me, and even though like they don't even know I know, I make it obvious. And then the issue is that my obvious nature would then be like brought up, because I wouldn't, like, I was petty, and I was like, no, you said this about me, I'm not gonna say hi. It was very pettiness, and I think because I always thought, oh, we're moving forward, and then it'd be moving backwards. But in her mind, it'd be like, why is she being so off with me? Even though I had like valid reasoning in my mind, we weren't very good at communicating our feelings, and that was definitely an issue, 100%. We really should have like sat down and spoke about our feelings and like properly got them out there. I am not a big feelings person. Like, I still don't like talking about my feelings. Now I don't know if she does. But we both didn't want to talk about it, and we just kind of like kept on brushing every issue under the rug. And it got to a certain level where like we were putting plans in group chats and everybody was patching each other, and it became a very awkward, tense situation. And then the way that she kind of handled it, I would say it was very negative, like towards me. Like, I personally wouldn't have done it that way, but I do think it had to be done to a certain extent. I do think that had to be said, because she ended up saying like cutting all toxic people. In her mind, I was a toxic person. I am somebody who like does not cut people off, and I think I put up with a lot before I feel like it's too much, if that makes sense. Like I feel like I can get treated really badly for a really long time and I don't snap. And I hadn't snapped yet. Like I still thought there was like something to be like, I don't know, like replenished in this friendship, and obviously like looking back there was definitely not, but that's in my mind there was, because I just kind of like will get treated like shit time and time again, and I just am like, oh, it's fine. I am very lenient. That is something that is actually really negative for me, because I need to snap more. And I remember I was in work just then, and somebody spoke to me really poorly, and I walked away for a bit, and then I was like, no, don't talk to me like that. And I never say that, I never actually say it. And I was really annoyed, because I was like, no, you actually don't get to talk to me like that just because I don't say anything about it. Like, I still want to be respected, I'm still a human being. And yeah, and another factor that came into this friendship was we worked together, and I got promoted, and then she got promoted, and it was messy. And the bosses we had at the time were very horrible people, so would not recommend. I just don't think you should work with your best friends, because I work in McDonald's, so that situation is toxic and dramatic, and then adding a toxic dramatic friendship to it, horrible. So. Okay, so the way it was dealt with was really hard, because it felt like it came out of the blue on my end, and I don't really know how to handle it. I've never really been like through that kind of experience before, and it felt like there was no mending it. And then something my actual friends done was really bad. One of my friends showed me text messages, and that was not smart. Don't be nosy and don't feel culprit to it, because unfortunately if you do, you're gonna regret your life. Like, you're gonna regret your life choices, because it is really, really hard to like kind of make amends from that. And like when you're seeing what somebody else, and people get mad and people say things when they're mad. Like when me and her spoke a couple months later, like she couldn't remember what she said because she was mad, but it stuck with me. But I would never have known that if I hadn't been shown that. And I was kind of like, okay, I don't even hold that against her, because everybody says stuff when they're mad. But yeah, so I went through a bit of a depression, bit of a bad moment, bit of a bad time. You know that Taylor Swift song, she's like, bad time, long story short, bad time. And I eventually was like, I cannot do this. Like, I cannot be down in the dumps, mopey. I was walking my work going, I'm so depressed, I'm gonna kill myself. And I was like, that's really inappropriate to say, first of all. And second of all, it's not true. You are fine. Like, I feel like I had to like grab myself by the shoulders and shake me and go, you are fine. Get over it. You are okay. So some of the things I used to do that was I really put myself out there, and I became a lot more sociable. And this was like the first kind of like step. I was still very like insecure about myself. I still felt like I wasn't very good enough. Like I felt really horrible about myself, and I was very I was really insecure. And when it came to making new friends, I was really shy and really quiet, and I'm a very personal person, so I don't like having to share stuff with myself to make friends, which is what you have to do to make friends. You have to realise these people don't know you, and you have to talk about yourself so they get to know you. And so I really hated that. I really hated every aspect of that. So I ended up becoming quite like into myself a wee bit. I was really out there at work, but I was really into myself, and I still wasn't even like that out there at work. Like, I wasn't talking about my personal life, I wasn't talking about like this or that or anything, and I wasn't like putting myself out there on like dating apps, anything. Like, I was going through a self-healing era and decided no more toxicness, no more negativity. I'm not gonna let people walk all over me. Yeah, I still did. Like, I still let people walk all over me. This was the whole thing. I let people walk all over me. This is my big issue. And then she reached out. So I reached out first. It was for her birthday, and I was like, birthdays are such a big deal to me. Like, I don't think people understand. Like, that's your day. Like, and you know what? I did want to wish her happy birthday. I was like, happy birthday. It is your birthday. Happy birthday. And I wished her happy birthday. She reached out to me. And that was the start of this year. We just haven't really spoke since. Like, we sat down, had a coffee, kind of cleared the air. We haven't really spoken since. That's on both sides of like the party. Does that make sense? Like, both sides are not really speaking. Like, I reached out first last, but then I feel like she also reached out like last. She sent the last text, I made the last meetup, so we're both kind of like at crossroads. For me personally, like, I like the way it ended. I think the meeting up and getting some closure was good. I don't think she ever wanted to be like my friend again, and I think that is absolutely fine. You know, I can't force people to be my friend, but it was still nice to kind of get that kind of like closure and still be able to talk, and it was nice, you know. And I realised like after that I don't hold any resentment towards that situation. Like, I am kind of like glad it happened. I think it pushed me slightly out of my comfort zone. We're going to talk about the situation. It pushed me so far out of my comfort zone, I didn't even know where to land. So my best friend Paula, she moved away to go do some missionary work, which is so good for her. My other friend Katie moves away to Ayr every year for uni. Like, that is about like a 30-mile journey for me, like an hour and a bit on the train. I have to get 2 trains to get there. So we don't see each other that often. I haven't really seen her for a couple of weeks actually. And you know what it's done? I was devastated. I still am really sad about it, like, don't get me wrong, but it's pushed me out of my comfort zone. I used to just be like, I have my friends, and I was like, I have Paula and I have Katie and I'm absolutely fine, and I was absolutely fine. But I was really lonely at uni, like, that's not something I'm gonna deny. And this year I have been determined I am making friends, and I have, and I'm really proud of myself, like really proud of myself. And I've kind of like gone more out there with work friends. I don't really know how that's going, like, to be honest with you. This is like my honest opinion. I'm close with some of the girls, but like sometimes I am like forgotten about, which I don't feel comfortable with. That makes me feel very like I'm back in high school and I'm like the little sad friend that everybody forgets about. Like, I don't like that. I don't like feeling like that, and I kind of want to remove myself from the situation when I'm feeling that way. But then I don't know if my anxiety is just reading too much into it. But yeah, with Paula moving away, I was legitimately like forced out of my comfort zone, and I was like, okay, you can't even sit and text Paula, just on my phone. You can't sit and text Paula when you're at uni. You can't even call her. You can't FaceTime. You need to make friends because you do not have somebody to fall back on at this point. And it's been really, obviously I miss her. Like, I'm not saying I don't miss her, but I'm saying her leaving has been like good in that sense, when it's pushed me out of my comfort zone. And we can't, it's not like a best friend breakup, it's like a change in the friendship, and it has been like a good change in that perspective, because sometimes you need to kind of lose people that you're really comfortable with, those people that you're closest to gain comfortableness with other people. And that's what I felt. I was like, okay, this is really crappy, like, this is really crappy, but we can make that. I was like, this is 9 months. I am not spending 9 months of my life feeling really crappy. I am going to make the best of the worst kind of situation, and I feel like I have so far. I'm like meeting people for coffees. I'm so chatty, like, loving life. And that's my advice. I wouldn't have done it the way I done it on my other best friend breakup, because I think I handled that badly. I think I didn't take that as an opportunity to push myself out of my comfort zone. This time round, I'm like pushed. Like literally tossed out my comfort zone, and I'm like, okay, you need to do something with this. You cannot be this lonely, sad person. You need to make friends, and I've really enjoyed it so far. Like, I feel like I'm really being chatty, making plans, sorting things, meeting other people, and I'm really actually happy with it, and I'm really confident again with like what I'm going to be doing, like friends I have and friends I'm like, and I'm close with some girls at work as well. I'm just not close with all of them. I think sometimes it can be a bit confusing because they all work full time and I'm obviously part time because I'm at uni. I am definitely close with some uni friends that I'm with people at work, 100%, and that will probably continue. But yeah, that's my little girl chat about best friend breakups. I just feel like people, it feels devastating at the start, but you need to take it as positive, and you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone and be like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna like make the best of both worlds. But yeah, that is the video. Very quick, very short, because it is just like a quick short little topic. But this is obviously my new series, Girl Chats. I have like 10 subscribers. I don't even know why I'm like, oh my god, my new series. But I'm gonna just keep uploading these and just be like, Girl Chats. I think it's so cute. Bye guys. I would like intercept here, like add a little comment. First of all, for the friend I spoke about like breaking up with, I am genuinely so happy for that person. Like, I see her Instagram all the time and I'm like, I am so happy for you. I love the fact that you're thriving. I just think
it's gone. So sometimes you just have to let things die. But it does mean you kind of love and you kind of happiness for that person, because I definitely do when I see her like thrive. I'm like, wow, look at you go. I feel so happy for her when she does stuff that I never would have thought she'd have been able to do when I knew her. And now I'm like, you're such a different person, and that is such a good thing because sometimes you need to lose people to become yourself, you know? Anyway, bye.